Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two very, very interesting and important articles. One coming, actually, both of them are about Netanyahu, the new Prime Minister of Israel, and he made some statements, and then the Russian reacted to those statements. So let's get the first article here. First article is Russia issues warning to Israel. This article comes from February 1st, 2023 from Russia Today. So Prime Minister Netanyahu told CNN he was, and I'm quoting, looking into sending the Iron Dome to Kiev, prompting a reaction from Moscow. And we have the other article, Babam. Israel considering sending Iron Dome air defense system to Ukraine, Netanyahu. Now this one comes from Ukrinform, and this is from Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. So there is already Thursday. So let's see what Netanyahu said here in this article, obviously coming from Ukraine. So Israel is considering sending air defense systems to Ukraine, including the Iron Dome system. What took you so long? That's my question. I mean, I had, a gut feeling, let's put it this way, that this would happen at one point. According to an Ukrinform correspondent, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said this in an interview with CNN. And I'm quoting, "Well, I'm certainly looking into it," Netanyahu said when asked whether Israel can send air defense systems to Ukraine. He also confirmed that the United States has moved artillery ammunition stocks from the territory of Israel to Ukraine. And the United States took a significant part of Israeli ammunition and sent it to Ukraine, end quote, he said. Netanyahu added that his country is also helping Ukraine by preventing the production of weapons in Iran. And I'm quoting, "I will not go into details, but Israel is acting in a certain way against Iran's production of weapons that are used against Ukraine," end quote, he said. Now, Netanyahu is an intelligent person, very good politician, very intelligent. So I will not take his statement as a confirmation whatsoever. Why? That was an answer that would be like, leave me alone right now. I'll look into it. I definitely look into it. So he made the Russians say, what? Made the other ones, yay! And he's like, I have no intention to do anything to these guys. I don't want to get in that mess, basically. He could have that intention, but he just wanted to create a reaction for own reasons. On the other hand, he, Netanyahu, the prime minister of the Jewish state, he offered his services in mediating a peace negotiation between Russia and NATO, I mean Ukraine. But he's ignored as of now. So, as I said, I wouldn't take whatever Netanyahu said very seriously, but that's me. Obviously, the Russians had to react so they can look back at the receipts and say, see, we told you, and look what happened now. So let's go to the second article and see the other article from Russia Today, what it has to say. So let's see the Russian response. Anyone so much as speculating about sending weapons to Ukraine is escalating the conflict. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, very intelligent woman by the way, said in a response to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In an interview to CNN on Tuesday, Netanyahu said he did not rule out the possibility of sending Iron Dome missile defense systems to Kiev, something his predecessor rejected outright. Now, just so you know, my friends, when they say missile defense systems, they can be turned in offensive or offense systems. It's not like they're only defense systems. It's not a big deal. But anyway, they use it that way so they show, that they're just going to be used to shoot the aggressors' offensive missiles coming in. And I'm sure the Ukrainians will do exactly that. All countries, and I'm quoting, all countries that supply weapons to Ukraine should understand that we will consider these weapons to be legitimate targets for Russian armed forces, end quote, Zakharova told reporters in Moscow. Now, I read the same sentence in a different newspaper, Zakharova's statement, and it was without the Ukraine and weapons in parentheses. So it read like this: all countries that supply weapons should understand that we will consider these to be legitimate targets for Russian armed forces, which could be these countries, because he didn't really say what, the weapons or the countries. So this is that they put in parentheses here to make sure that the weasels like me understand it right, the way it was meant. And it's good, I appreciate that. They don't beat around the bushes. These are Russians after all. So, I'm quoting, any attempts implemented or even unrealized but announced for the supply of additional, new or some other weapons have led and will lead to an escalation of this crisis. And everyone should be aware of this, end quote, she added, Zakharova. Zakharova was responding to claims by multiple media outlets that Netanyahu was, quote-unquote, certainly looking into, end quote, the possibility of dispatching Iron Dome systems to Ukraine. The quote does not appear in CNN's write-up of the interview or the 2 video segments posted online, however. So what I was yapping around with the other article from our Ukrainian friends, this one right here, did not appear in, according to the Russians. So he said, she said, but this guy said, well, that means I have to look and get access to the CNN write-up of the interview or the 2 video segments to see, but posted online. I don't know if they were posted online or whatever. Let's get it. One of them is lying, or it's a possibility that both are lying in a certain situation. But anyway, Netanyahu, who recently returned as prime minister after 18 months out of power, sat down for an interview with CNN's Jake Tapper. The network did quote him on the possibility of mediating the conflict between Moscow and Kiev, and the cryptic answer about the recent drone attack on Iranian military industry. And I'm quoting, I never talk about specific operations. And every time some explosions take place in the Middle East, Israel is blamed or given responsibility. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. End quote, Netanyahu told Tapper. Now, Iron Dome is a short-range system, Israel has used against rockets launched by Hezbollah and Hamas. The previous government rejected Ukraine's demand to send them over last October. Defense Minister Benny Gantz explained in November that Israel doesn't have, and I'm quoting, a large enough production base, end quote, to satisfy Ukraine's needs. While a senior military advisor said the country was loath to antagonize Russia, which has a large military presence in neighboring Syria. Israel's hypothetical change, of course, might have something to do with the US, which funds the Iron Dome to the tune of $1 billion a year. Washington recently announced it would raid the stockpile of artillery ammunition intended for Israel in order to supply Ukraine instead, which Netanyahu told CNN he was perfectly fine with that. I'm not sure exactly who told who what, if you know what I mean. I don't think that they told Netanyahu. I think that Netanyahu told them. I have just a gut feeling. But anyway, so you see these guys say, no, they said it, we didn't find it. No, he said it. Maybe, I said, well, they may be both lying. In this circumstance, let's say what's his name, Netanyahu did not say it, there you have it, and the other ones did not even look for it. Alright, so one is lying, oh, he said it, and the other ones are, oh, we didn't even look, but we didn't find it. But anyway, with it, without it, I think that Netanyahu is cunning enough to play around and go around, and if they send it, but not with trumpeteering. They were going to do it underneath. They don't want to upset Russia. They don't want to get involved in this shitty war that's over there, I think. But we'll find out. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.